Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ and Sons and a brand new Planet Coaster series that we are going to be getting started here today in a brand new theme park. And this one is going to be starting from humble beginnings. Not so much like the last one where it was pretty much, set up and shaped out to be, I wouldn't call it a mega park, but a pretty massive one. This is going to be seen about trying to just kind of naturally grow a theme park through, I guess you could say, decades, more or less. We're going to start out with just a simple little carnival kind of setup. So, what you get from your basic flat ride kind of thing that you would find, and so, at least here where I live, they set up in mall parking lots, other little empty lots, that kind of thing. So, it's going to be a lot more just flat rides, shops. I not say shops, I guess games, and then food stalls. That's really what it's going to be based around. And then we're going to use that to draw people in, and then we'll start to kind of add some coasters in as we go. But it's not going to be immediate, jumping into B&M hyper coasters and all that. It's going to be try to have it be more of an evolution of an actual theme park. Now we have plenty of space here. I'm keeping the original starting point. As the park grows, the opening or the entrance to it might actually end up moving. But for right now, it's got a pretty solid setup here, and I think it really is going to work for what we need it to be. Like I said, this isn't going to be something too massive, at least at the start. It is going to be pretty well in control. And a fairly standard kind of size park. So, like I said, it's starting out in a carnival kind of setup. We're going to have a pretty basic entranceway. We're going to have more or less fairly basic flat rides. And as you see, it is dirt path, or I guess the natural path right now, where you see the borders and the one that you can actually see. Where we're going to be sticking with this for at least the first little bit. Once we do start getting to the point where we're putting in coasters, then we'll start to change stuff up as we have to. But that's going to definitely be later on. So first starting out, it's not going to be kind of a coaster setup. We're going to jump into, this kind of, speed through play through time lapse portion, and we're going to see this park actually develop from the very ground up. And so as we jump into that, guys, I'm actually going to hop off here and let y'all kind of enjoy just the time-lapse portion where we get this park set up, get it underway, and I will catch up with y'all in just a few minutes. See ya. And here I am back with you. And so you can kind of see we've got the basic flat rides down that we're looking at. A Ferris wheel is pretty standard. Same thing with the carousel. The kickflip, that's going to be your more intense ride. The little slide over there, that's more of a ode to the original Roller Coaster Tycoon kind of slide that they had, so that is why I put it in there. And you can see the teacups off to the side. So we're going to be kind of moving these around here for the next minute or two, shaping out how I want this little carnival section to be. I'm not going to make it too big, and I want it to be able to hold a lot of people, but also be kind of close enough, right? That's why you'll see me kind of move these things throughout a couple times. That's what we're going to be. That's just kind of where we're pushing it out to shape out this park. We are going to be putting in midway games, and we are going to be putting in a bunch of bathroom stalls. Now, I will say this. Normally, I try to create everything on my own. What you're going to see as far as some of the midway games and some of the bathroom stalls in there that we put in were not created by me, because they were done something way better than what I could actually create. So some of the midway games you're going to see come in were done by Kinetic. Look them up on the workshop. I think that's how it's spelled, Kinetic. Same thing. There's a few others done by a creator like Josh something. Generally, if you search for midway games, it'll pop up that way. The restroom portion, I don't remember specifically the name on that one. I'll try to get back to you. If anything, I might put it down in the comments or in the description of the video. I just got to remind myself to actually do that. But they did create those, and like I said, normally I try to make everything on my own, but good Lord, those people are way better at it than I am, and there is no shame in using those creations. So just keeping that in mind. Now, we are going to jump into another time-lapse portion here where we're going to kind of get a lot of the setup done, the stalls and everything put in. So I'm just going to map it out, kind of the size of it with these wooden boards, wooden walls, so we can kind of see, try to make things semi-uniform. It's not going to be perfect, and I don't want it to be perfect, but I just really do need to also know the measurements for things. So that's kind of the easier way for me, and so we're going to get into this next little time-lapse portion. As we move stuff around, we're going to get some of these stalls put in, and I'll catch up with y'all here in just a little bit once they are put in, just in a little bit, guys. So you can see us going to the workshop now, and yeah. And actually, this will help us find out. Let me just see who I'm going to stick in here with you. Yeah, Josh, 5010, whatever. Midway games, yep. Then you got the Kinetic. So, yeah, those are the ones you can see me subscribing to them right now. Guys, check them out on the workshop, definitely. They are completely worth it for little midway game sections. So, we'll jump into the placing of these, and I will check in with y'all here in just a little while as we get them put in. So, I'll see y'all here in just a wee bit. Alright, and I am back. As you can see, we've got these midway games put in, and so this is just some more basic decoration for them. I know there's some signs up there I'm covering up, but I kind of like how it adds this little more, I guess, personalized touch. So, once again, I definitely did not create these, as y'all saw us get them out of the workshop. But you can always do little things like this to them, just to kind of give them a little personalized touch, you know. And so we're going to move some of these final things around as we are getting ready to end the episode here in just a wee bit, in reality. But we're going to do some of those final decorations on it. And I think little touches like this do help kind of bring this whole section to life. It's one of those, people aren't going to be using it. They just now, in the most recent update, put in the gift shops and all that. So eventually, as the park grows, there's going to be gift shops and everything. And I'm thankful for the ride photos and all that, because I'm going to start doing that as we build into the rides and start adding rides on little by little, put those little photo sections and all that kind of fun jazz onto it. But for these, like I said, for the start of this, I think this is going to work out pretty well. We got it kind of shaped out here, the entranceway, and having this be this little midway game be a perfect section, it does really kind of lead into one, not just making a boundary of it, but it kind of really keeps you involved in it. So as you're walking along this portion, past the rides and all that, you're seeing not the parking lot, but you're seeing the midway games. And so I think it does really work out pretty well, as far as keeping people in the park and essentially spending money, really. And so that's kind of what we were thinking about. Like, if you are a park owner, you got to keep people in. So now the lighting choices, I wish, and maybe they do, and if they haven't, I'm just a fool and can't find it. The old lights, which I'm trying to think. I guess I was playing a coaster one. The old lights that you can make recolorable, like the red, white, blue, yellow, those kind of lights, strings. And I could probably, I guess, do that with obviously the resort light box, but I think I may have been able to actually change the other string of lights. But I couldn't find the ones that I was truly wanting that allowed for the most color. So at first I do try these out, and it's one of those things that, man, it just doesn't feel right. Like, as you go to place certain pieces, you can tell if it feels right in that portion, and this just really did not feel all that right. And you can see by looking at it, it's one of those, maybe if I did change the colors, that might be, a difference maker. But so these two segments right up against each other, I think it's obvious to tell which one is going to be the better option to take here. And it's going to be the more traditional, I guess, kind of light string. So we are going to hang those up around this little segment. See me kind of trying to measure them up with the wood here. Because one thing that always happens, even though it says these lights are, 2 meters or 4 meter light bulbs, it doesn't always work out that way. Thankfully with these, you can see we're going to try to measure them end to end. That's going to be the end game, is to try to get it set up like that. But you'll tell as we soon come to cross these borders and some of these kind of planks and stuff, it doesn't always work out that way or as perfectly as kind of really want it to. But I still think that these provide the best lighting option for it. Now, it does say slot 1 and slot 2, does appear to be recolorable. I haven't tested that out. I will have to kind of try to see what that looks like as we build. But I also think, and for something as simple of a beginning as we have, just regular lights is probably what we would occur with. Now, I do think about what light to go in the background, because you do have to have something there to kind of light up everything around you. And I just think, in reality, I could go for, putting in some additional lights, but I'm just going to drop these down under. It provides enough lighting, and it's not one of those things where people are going to look at it and go, hey, you didn't light these games very well, or I don't know, maybe you will put that in the comments. But yeah, it's just one of those. I think this comes out to be a lot better than either putting some other hanging lights up or kind of continuing around the border with that. This really worked out to bring light to this section, and so it gives you a pretty good feeling with these games and what we can do with them, because there are going to be some of those other midway games that you saw us subscribing to that we're going to be putting that are kind of right now spread out around certain portions of the rides. And you see me keep trying to check the angles. Something I want to start trying to do whenever building parks is looking at things really from not just the peak point of view, but from different angles of it. You know, I get kind of single-sided sometimes, which can happen to everybody. So just one of those things. Keep turning the camera around, keep checking. You might see something from a different spot than what you were looking at before. And there's some of those other midway games that we're kind of helping to be space fillers. We're going to have little food stalls pop up here in the middle. That's just going to be kind of how it has to go at that stage. So while we do bring it back to daytime, guys, I do want to remind y'all to hit the subscribe button if you have not hit it already. And definitely give us a thumbs up if you have enjoyed this video. You're enjoying all the updates that have been made to the Planet Coaster since we've come out. If you're ready for the DLC, let me know down in the comments, and hit that bell icon to be notified of any other uploads we do here at Champ & Sons. We got a lot of stuff going on with the channel as far as starting the new park with Planet Coaster. We're going to get back into the city skylines, and maybe even some of the Planet Zoo series that I still have. the Planet Zoo stuff I got going, and also with college football. So a bunch of stuff happening with the channel. So hit that bell icon to be notified of all the uploads that we do have here. Outside of that, everybody, I will see y'all in the next episode where we get these rides kind of connected in. We get to try to get this our little Austin Carnival open. And yeah, that'll be all next time. So as always, stay safe, and well, y'all know how it goes from here, right? Later, y'all.